Hey everybody, it's Dwayne Golden, and it's good to see you guys this afternoon. I'm extremely excited to be here as, wow, what a year it's been, and we still have a good 20 plus days left. What are we going to do with it? How do we make the most of it? And so what's so exciting is the topic I'm going to talk to you about today. I think everyone is in a great position to take a good look at where they are in spite of the disruption. It's not like it's not happening to everyone. Everyone in every industry is feeling what's going on with this whole COVID-19. So I want to talk today about how do you ride the wave? How do you get through this stuff of the constant disruption? And what I mean by disruption is if you don't like the way things are, wait 10 minutes, you're going to find out something new is happening and something old is no longer there, or there's a whole new way of doing things and this industry doesn't exist anymore. There's so many drastic changes. How do you do it as an entrepreneur? What do you do today? That's what we're going to talk about. So as we do it, I want you to think closely. What is the key ingredient? What is this thing that is needed for you? We've seen a year of so much drastic change. The beginning of the year, typically in the beginning of any new year, there are a ton of new launches, which at the beginning of 2020, I want you to note that there were very few launches. In fact, it was pretty quiet in the industry with the exception of, I believe, a company called OPM. Everyone's excited, showing their big checks. Hey, we just made $265,000. We made $300,000. It was so interesting that many of you were probably casualties of that. I'm not one that believes that companies are its sole fault for the behaviors of what happens in the industry, nor am I a believer that in many cases that leaders and members are its sole fault. I think that there's a culture that needs to exist, but there's something you can do to create your culture. Even here on a Monday afternoon at 3 p.m., there's a lot that you can do right now today to leverage the remainder of this year and to kick off and make sure that no matter what you're going to do, you're going to be successful. Yeah, I'm saying that because, yes, I know there's a ton of new launches. Some of you, some of you are piercing 7 and 8. Some of you already passed their 10th opportunity. However, the results look the same in all of them. The trend gets there. I don't want to spend too much time on that. First of all, I want to say hi to each of you. Let you know that I know that we're all going through a lot. In fact, today I'm probably going to even mention to you at the end, there's so many people who are going through the greatest of challenges at times like this. Whether someone just has a typical illness and can't be seen because of the backlogs, or those who've lost loved ones. I can already think of a funeral I have to go to this week. And then, of course, already have been through quite a few this year. And even some of our team members, staff members who have ill loved ones and have already lost several of them. I'm thoughtful of that. But today, it's all about you. So, while you're here, I will certainly stick around afterwards and chat a little bit. But I want to just go ahead and get going now because I think you're deserving of a tremendous understanding about what's possible and how simple it really is. So let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and get moving and talk to you about the key ingredient that is needed so you can ride the wave. What wave? You know the wave. I'm not going to mention all the names, but there's so many names of different companies and different leaders. Sometimes you're the leader. And other times your downline gets there first and then he's your sponsor. Before you know it, you're going back and forth, in and out, up and down. There's some that are booming now, some passive opportunities that are booming. And, with the right approach, some of you can make some money and move on. I just want to make sure that you can do something that's going to be a difference for your family. How many of you are tired? You're absolutely tired of, you really had some great opportunities throughout the year, but by the time January 1st comes along again, your year doesn't look much different. Pretty much the same type of income, lots of business opportunities. However, you have nothing stuck yet, and you want to get there. Type in the number 1. Because I do believe that you're not the only one, and you don't have to worry about it anymore because it's really a lot more simple than you can imagine. So we're going to talk about how you can ride the wave, and I'm going to get down to it and ensure that if you are here today and you are a single parent, you've really been going all you can, you're about out of money, I want you to know there's hope for you. If you're someone here, you used to be on top, maybe about a year or two ago, you made 20, 30, 40,000, you really got excited. You might have made some decent Bitcoin, but you haven't been able to find your way since then. Slow down a minute. We're going to help you out today. It may be that you really just want to get going. It seems that every time you get started in something, it goes away and then you have to start over again and you lose a lot of your list and not too many people follow you anymore. I don't know what your story is. You could just be someone, everything you touch turns to gold. Doesn't matter. Today, let's get to it. Let's be sure that you can have that key ingredient that's needed for success. So let's go ahead. To make a lot of cryptocurrency in the remainder of 2020 and in 2021, what can you do, right? What's needed? Well, let's talk about a few things. One of them is some of you have had the hottest sales pitch of 2020. What's the hottest sales pitch of 2020 that was used on you? Anybody know? You want to type it in if you know? The hottest sales pitch of 2020 is, watch this now, it's not new, nothing new under the sun. It was used 10 years ago. And it's a crazy sales pitch, but the people who's listening to it don't even see it as a sales pitch, so they fall for it each time. What is that? That is the sales pitch that no recruiting, no sales, nothing. Just put your money in. So how can you make a lot of cryptocurrency knowing that you're using this hot sales pitch, right? That's what you've been told. And first of all, I'm not a believer. I'm going to make it very clear. I don't believe in it. I think it's a wrong thing. And it's one of the reasons why the success trail is so short. That's this type of thinking is why most have to have you have to have so many starts throughout the year because this isn't lasting. It doesn't take long for people to figure out that they're not doing so well, and it's because there's nothing they can contribute. They were told just join and you're gonna make a lot of money. And when they find out that's not how life works, then unfortunately it doesn't work. But how can you make a ton of crypto and using that? Some of you have. It's linear. You can only do it once. It's used on you first, then you use it on others. Now you're selling with a fake script when you can literally just learn to sell, right? So one of the things I want you to note is this is not going to be it. This is not the key ingredient. The key ingredient isn't the perfect sales pitch, right? It's just not. In fact, selling really is a byproduct of being who you are and you're doing your thing and people are going to buy into it because of who you are. And I don't mean it that you have to, no, it doesn't mean there's some sales skills. Sales skills are essential, but those are things that you can learn. Those are learnable. But the sales pitch that there is no sale is the worst one in the book. It's the one that you will certainly be sure you'll be starting over soon. If you use this one, you'll run out of people because you got enough to get the notch in your belt and say, I got another one. But over time, they're gone, right? Can I get an amen? Right? So it's been used on you. You're using it on others. And now, what in the world? Then you find out, what do you find out? Shoot. Now I've gone through this whole thing and I'm back where I was and I better go find some more. You get through this vicious cycle and it's ugly. It's so funny. And just used it. I mean, Facebook inboxes get loaded. So many get their Facebook removed. There's so many things that happen because of this stuff, but it's just interesting. But let's go ahead. The key ingredient isn't the hottest sales pitch. It's also being the first person in. Anybody been taught that? How many of you have been taught that you want to be successful? You want to be the first guy in. Get position number one. Then you can tell everybody you're in position number one. Then, boom. Right, well, here's how that works typically. Most of the time, right? You want to fake people out, so you try and see if the owner will comp you in because you're so good. Charge all the little old ladies and the single parents, but you get in free. And then when you start seeing success, everybody's going to think you're so great, right? This is not the key ingredient. This is a great ingredient where you sure will start over and eventually people will find you out. It breaks my heart today how some of you see yourself as a top leader, top earner, and the first opportunity you get, you will ask a company to pay your way $5, $10, $15, $20, $30,000, and then you'll go out and show people how successful you are. The company paid your way for free or gave it to you free, and then you're expected to get the money. And you're happy to, because in most cases, if it's a peer-to-peer system, you're going to win and win big. This is not the key ingredient. This key ingredient will keep you going where you're going. That is in a circle. New opportunity, be one of the first in. No selling, no recruiting, join me. Over and over again. Some of you have been doing this for year after year. And it's just hard to stop. It's like some of the drugs that hurt, that really get people. That first one was such a great wave. And it breaks my heart the amount of friends and loved ones who have to battle such things as heroin and crack cocaine. And unfortunately, they have the similar characteristics in that it's hard to get off once you start. So you get in first and you think that's enough. You were compensated. Your sponsor has a huge check. You tell everyone your sponsor's already made 260 grand or 150 or 75. In many cases, you're blind, so you didn't even know your sponsor is scamming you because your sponsor got in for free, didn't pay for anything. Then he tricked you, and when you paid your $10,000, he made $10,000 right away, and he shows everybody, I just made $10,000 off of you. It's a vicious thing. So this isn't the key ingredient. Does it work? Truthfully, just like the drugs work the very first time a person tries them, sure, you can get yourself a little income. You cannot build a long-term sustainable wealth on either of these ingredients. So don't worry, I'm not here to be negative. I want to make sure you can get the true ingredient, but I must first contrast it with such fallacies and falsehoods that are existing in the market. So now, you've had the hottest sales pitch. You now were one of the first people in. You were comped in maybe, or your sponsor was comped in. Now you got huge checks. Now everybody's talking about it. And boom! What's it mean now? Well, let's take a look. You're back to square one is what it looks like. Because as soon as, let's say you have a list of 255 people, you told all of them about it and 10 joined. Good. Now you're supposed to take no selling, no recruiting, and grow it from there. And when you complain to your sponsor, usually they won't even answer you or get back to you. Then they're going to complain to the owner that the person they brought in is lazy, isn't doing anything. And they've used the model to sell you on not selling, and you're back to freaking square one. What do? Here's what I'm going to tell you. You could be successful. It doesn't matter what company you're in. And some of you think it's always about being in this company. It's not at all. I want to help. I would love to see your families have your success story so you can be a difference. A lot of you love to help out when there's needs, and you can't because you still have your own to get rid of, to fix. Some of you spent your life savings already on this very cycle I'm talking about. Some of you, you're down to your last leg. Well, let me tell you something. You can stop the madness in December, right? Today. Before 4 o'clock hits, you can make that commitment. You cannot avoid this because when you get back to square one, it's not pretty. Your list is all gone. You've already contacted them. And this is like the third or fourth program you got them into, and they're pretty much done with you. They're starting to see through that you're not really a leader in some cases. They're starting to see that you're more noise than anything else. And that by the time they get settled in to start, you already starting a whole new program anyway. So this is not a key ingredient, getting back to square one. You see, when you get back to square one, you got to find some more action. I've already exhausted my list. Who am I going to talk to? How do I get traffic? I'm back to square one. What do I do? What kind of trick or tip can I buy? Everyone's talking about it, but you're cold now. Other new people are coming in with their list and they're starting to boom on the same thing. And that lies everywhere. It's in LinkedIn, Telegram, Instagram. No selling, no recruiting. Just make a fortune like the rest of us. And boom. So, now the good news. If you're ready for the good news, let's see, type in number 5. If you're ready for the good news, what's the key ingredient, Dwayne? How do I ride the wave to success, right? How do I find this commitment that I can make before 4 p.m. so the rest of this year and the rest of my business days, my entrepreneurial days, I can be a true winner, one with success, with a W. Let me tell you something first of all. Your family deserves for you to not be on a Ferris wheel. It's as painful for them to see you in this vicious cycle as it is for a parent or a loved one to see someone they love most battling addiction of any type. When they see they're going nowhere, hoping to get off, and it's just trying to sustain and stay healthy, because if you stop all at once, if you're on drugs, you get real sick. If you stop this stuff all at once, you get real broke real quick. So it's not easy, and I recognize it. That's why I'm going to share this with you. I want you to take it to the bank and understand that you can do this. You deserve to be able to experience what this success looks like. So, the key was right in front of you all along. Don't know if you knew it or not, but it was right there. Many don't know that you were born. You were born with the ability. You were born with specific profile, with a specific gifts. And what's really interesting is, one of them is, it was natural. You didn't have to work on it. You didn't have to go to school for it. It was natural. Do you remember when you were 2 years old? Or maybe you see it in your own 2-year-old. When you saw something you wanted, it didn't matter who had it. You went after it. You said, mine. Whatever it takes, I'm going to get to it. If I've got to take 3 steps, get in trouble, risk getting time out or spanked by my parents, I'm going for it. You see another kid with their toy, you pull it up and say it's mine. It comes from birth. We're born with this thing inside of us that makes us go after what it is that we seem necessary. Go after what's ours. So you have it. It's been right in front of you. So let's talk about it. It was you the entire time. You see, when someone invites you into a business and they've asked you to just give your money, you don't need to be there. You don't need to recruit or sell. You don't need to do anything. Just send your money to this place and you're in. You'll get spillover. You're going to make money just because I'm such a good leader. You're going to get rich because I'm such a good leader. And what they're really saying is, when you get here, we don't want you. We just want your money. So from now on, I'm going to ask you, don't go anywhere else without you. If someone says all you have to do is give us your money, you got to use your head. There's some programs starting. I'm not here to judge and say if they're good or bad. If you're going to get in them, I'm just saying, take you there. You go. If someone says no sales or no recruiting, you start studying, learn the art of selling. Don't be foolish. Don't get deeper into the problem. It's the end of the year, and some of you might join 2 more or 3 more programs before the year ends with the same model because you're not taking you. I'm asking you to take you. And from now on, don't start anything else without you. Eliminate the fake sales pitch and work. I'm blessed enough to have had parents, although they weren't perfect, they taught me the importance of applying myself and taking me and work. In spite of special education, they said, Dwayne, you could be anything you want. You may have to work harder than everybody else, but you can do it. I was fortunate enough for them to tell me that it doesn't matter that I'm an African American. And this is a time when it did matter. They said, you can do it. You just have to apply yourself and give more of you. You can do whatever you want to do. You can live wherever you want to live and go where you want to go. Now, it's going to take some hard work. They didn't say, whenever you get the opportunity to get it free and you don't have to do anything, just make it for free. They taught me some principles that really gave me a foundation. I want to share that with you. So if you're going to join one of these new, I know there's a big one that starts on the 15th of December. And if you go there and you keep taking the same you've been, the part that just takes your money, and then you spread the lie, and then you're not doing, trust me, run. But if you're going to go to that new program, I believe, I don't know the name of it. They start, I do know the name. I just don't want to mention it here. It wouldn't be appropriate. But if you're going to go do it, do it. But take you. Eliminate the fake sales pitch and work. Make what you do when you get in, be the difference. It's very interesting. Instead of making what everyone else does, and you don't have to do anything, be the difference. You make sure what you do is what it is that makes you the difference. Here's the deal. It's interesting. When I went to the military, I was taught before I went in, hey, look, let me tell you something. There's a ton of people there. Whatever you do, don't be last. Don't be that guy. You work hard. I don't care what it takes. I don't care if you're in chow line, if you're doing push-up, whatever you're doing, don't you dare be that one, because you're going to get it. They're going to lean into you. It's like life, Dwayne. When you get there, you go all out. You give your best. You take all of you no matter what. And I didn't understand at the time, but I got a chance to learn to be the difference. I taught the same thing when I went to school. I taught the same thing when I became a parent, when I became a husband. And you can do this, but if you want to be the difference, you've got to take you. You've got to take you. Start at square one. That way you never have to go back there. You stay there. Work. Didn't Rihanna say it, you guys? Work, 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 right? Didn't Fifth Harmony say it? Work from home. So interesting. While I sit here and talk to you, your body's systems are working. Work is important. Your cardiovascular system, your heart's pumping. It's pumped a ton of blood while we were sitting here in this YouTube Live so far. It's beating, your heart's beating about 60 to 72 beats a minute. You got these respirations taking place from your lungs, your gas exchange. These are systems that are at work. And it's important that they constantly work. Why is it that when someone wants you to get something, if they make you think you're going to become something amazing, without the work, it doesn't add up? So I want you to note, take you. There's a lot of, I heard about the one from Asia. It's a daily. Stop it, guys. Use your head. If you're going to do it, just take you. Take your brain. Don't you dare turn off your thinking capacity. Because when it looks bad, you got to know what it is. And you can't be leading people there. You have to actually know what to do. Work it. If you're going to go there, work it and work it right. Now, here's what success is not about. You want to ride the wave of success? Know what it's not about. Here's what it's not about today for my friends, you guys over there in the UK. It's not about the company name. You guys over in North America, Canada, those of you in South America, Central America, the company name. It's not about that. I know some of you in your country, you believe it's all about having an office. Well, the world has moved on so much, it's interesting. I know those back in the old days, everybody believed, you're going to be successful. Hey, can you set up an office in my country? Can you set up an office in my country? Can you get us we need a CD? Can you buy us a projector? I'm like, you guys, you still have to work. No matter, I don't care what you ask for, you got to work. And if you don't work, unfortunately, you're not going to eat. You're going to be jumping around from here until the end of the earth. So it's not about the company name. Well, my company's also, stop, right? That's why I tell you, it's not about this company. I haven't even mentioned our company's name the entire time of this live so far. It's not about being the first person in. Stop the malarkey. It's about what you do. If you get in first, if you get in last, if you're going to work it, right? If through your work, you're going to bring in 500 people, right? It's going to pay you well. It only matters if you're looking to get something free. If you're one of the first people in, you're hoping everybody's going to fall up under you. You're looking for the assistance check, the stimulus check, if you're looking for the Social Security check of the industry, get in first and hope everything happens for you by luck and trickery. Getting in first, yeah, you can get some momentum, blah, blah, blah. But long-term lasting success, trust me, if it worked the way many of you thought, you wouldn't be in your 8th company in 2020. If getting in first mattered. It only mattered for start. Some of you guys are professional starters and didn't even know it. Success is not about starting. It has everything to do with about how you sustain and finish that thing. And you're not finishing it. You just start. It's really like going to rehab, getting back out, going to rehab, getting back out, going to rehab, getting back out. You're just not going to fit. You have to find a way. You're going to go to a company. You're going to go do the work. You want to be successful. Don't put your eggs in the wrong basket. The wrong basket is thinking it's about the company name, thinking it's about getting in first, thinking that it's about being comped in. Stop it. I'm going to tell you something. You want to be successful? Stop looking for a handout. It just sickens me. I don't get it. You really want the whole world to think you're that great, so they all give you their hard-earned money and their savings. So you tell the company you'll get everybody to come in as long as they pay. No, you pay it. If you're that good, you're not going to miss it. If you're that rich, you don't care. So stop faking it, right? Be true. Say I don't have it. See if you're going to borrow it, do that, but don't do this thing where you're creating this mirage of success. How many people fool themselves? You're literally fooling yourself. Stop. That's not what success is about. You can be successful. What are you willing to do to be successful? What else? Well, the perfect funnel. If I could just get the perfect funnel. No, some of you didn't had the perfect funnel for the last 5 years. Still the same issue. You see, I was talking to someone the other day. Now, it's good. If you got a funnel, good. But that is not where success is coming from. It's still going to have to come from inside you. You can have a brand new computer. You can have the best new phone. You can have the fastest internet. But you still have to work. I'm a father, it was one thing to have a child. It's a whole nother one to raise him. Teaching a young man how to be a man. Teach him to have character, how to respect women. Teaching him to love and how to be successful. Teaching him the very principles I'm teaching you. That's work. I don't expect and have not expected my children to have any success without the work. I don't expect to get lucky just because they're male children, or that's just foolish. Take work. How dare you expect your business to just create millions for you, and you won't even give it a $25,000 a year activity? Some of you, I know people who work their McDonald's and Wendy's, their restaurant business, as an employee, harder than you work your entrepreneur business that you're bragging to everyone is going to make you millions. So I'm going to tell you, have a reality check before 2021 gets here. Be ready. Be ready to be a difference. And you can't do that faking yourself out. Go to work. Work on you. Jim Rohn used to say, that work harder on yourself than you do on your job, right? And when you work harder on yourself than you do on your job, it makes it easier to work in your business. Some of you have no idea what it means to work when others are sleeping, when others are playing, because those of us who have built wealth and built followings and built life-changing things around the world, it has taken work, sleepless nights, working while we're sick. It's taken sacrificing and being a champion for those who couldn't be a champion, not looking for ways to trick people out of all they have. You can be that. So this is what success is not. I don't want to get stuck on it. I got to keep moving. Success is also not your title. It's not your social post. It's not taking a picture in front of a Lamborghini. It's not taking a picture in front of the world's greatest mansion. It's not taking a picture in a private jet. The illusions of success has kept so many of you from being successful that you really miss the point. You see, when you really have it, you don't have to flaunt it. When you really have it, it's no one. You don't care who knows and doesn't know. In fact, you prefer the privacy. So I'm going to tell you something. If you believe that calling yourself a coach is going to make more money, how's it worked for you so far? If you believe that calling yourself a title of sorts or getting a company to give you a title is all it takes, having position number one, I'm position number one. If you believe that's it, I have a question for you. How has it worked for you so far? So you want to land the plane and take the key ingredient. Remember, success is about you. Take you, that drive you have from birth. I like to call that the law of reversal. Find where everybody else is going, be willing to go the opposite way. Now, not for the sake of going the opposite way, but certainly when everyone's going off of a cliff, you don't have to go too. These things I'm talking about, you guys don't have to keep doing the same thing. You can actually go to work. It's amazing. I see volunteers at the polls for elections in different countries. I see volunteers who work with children. I see volunteers who work for health organizations work harder on their volunteering than most of you work on your business. And it's pretty sad. Well, why do people need to come up with trickery, Dwayne? Why do we have to fake ourselves out and fake people out and say there is no recruiting? Why do we have to tell people that we are in position number one? Why do we have to be comped in, Dwayne? Why is it that why do we have to keep starting over? Hey, I'm going to tell you now. It's clear. You're not willing to work with you. Build you. You got to do this. I'm going to tell you something. This is what success is not about, but here's what success is mostly about. It's many things, but I'm going to list a couple here. And I want you to get this. I couldn't even dare sum up on a YouTube live like this all the things that are required for success, but there's one main ingredient that you can take with you, and it's you. Paying just your money is never enough to build long-term wealth. I asked, after reading The Road Ahead by Bill Gates, I believe in 94, 96, whatever year he did that, in other books, and I think about all the people who have given their life's work to be what they are. And many of you believe with a quick, getting in position number one, putting a false statement out, and getting someone to get you in for free is enough to be successful whenever all the rest of us had to work. Some of you, I've known you 10, 13 years ago. I was doing the same exact thing. It's taken years of work, years off my life. Yes, I was younger and prettier. I had hair. I had to work. And you guys you're going to have to drop your anchor. Drop your anchor. Step in. Get busy. Do this thing. So here we go. What you do and what you become in the process really is what success is about. Can I tell you something? If you'd have met me 15 years ago, you'd be amazed at what I became through the work, through the failures. You see, when you work at things, you're not going to have it right every time. You're going to fail at it, but you don't quit. You don't keep starting. You don't just quit and do something new. Like, well, I couldn't play the flute, so I'm going to play the drums. Oh, didn't work. I practiced twice, so now I'm going to go play the guitar. You don't keep Look, you land the plane, you work through it. I've worked through some things and it's changed my life. It's changed the life of the offspring that I'll never meet. It's changed the life of my current grandchildren and my future great-grandchildren. Their lives will be ever different because of the work. I got to be honest with you. Anything I've ever done where I've tried to take a shortcut, their lives aren't going to change because of that. Their life gets a change from the work. So what I became in the process and what you can become in the process, you'd be amazed. So I ask you, won't you take you with you? Won't you make that type of commitment? Because you see, momentum forward, financially, mentally, and productive-wise, are the characteristics you'll see in success. But you can't have momentum forward if you keep stopping and starting. So you're going to go somewhere, take it on, take the bull by the horns, go to work there, right? Some of you will be leaving to go into a new company. Take you, establish momentum, become something great, and don't hop around. You can hop around, but don't work through it. When things get tough, you don't run, Work through it when you get there. You can do it. Some of you are searching for that right place. I want you to find it. But you have to understand what's going to make it right isn't going to be the place. It's going to be what person you take with you. Hey, here's an example. I have a friend who thought, well, I just can't stand here anymore. I hate it. I'm going to move. And I told him, I said, when you get to Atlanta, you're still going to be, the common element that's still going to be in the equation is you. It's probably going to be a lot easier to work on you than to change your entire geography. You still can do it, but note, whatever problems you got, you're still going to take it. So if you're late getting up, if you're kind of lazy, you don't work too well, when you get to Atlanta, you got the same thing. You have to work on that eventually. So I'm here to tell you, go to work on you. And then, if you're jumping in the new program that's coming, any of the ones that just launched or one of the ones that's going to launch in January, take a success story with you. Become all you can be for the people you love the most. And that would make me happy. Many of you know, if you've seen my interviews, I've got many who've come through our doors to be successful. And we still do a lot of cool stuff together. But I'm okay if you move on. But do something. Be something. Your family deserves to stop running around and constantly telling them why you don't have money to do things. Do it. Go to work. Work it. When's the last time you've given 8 to 10 hours a day at something? I mean, last I checked, if people do that all over the world to just get by, isn't it worth it to get rich? When I say rich, it's a relative term. It's just to give you a perspective on the way you see it. But isn't it worth it? 8 to 10 hours. And you mean to tell me I can make enough money to where I may never have to work again, and then my children will be okay and their children will be okay? Just trying to tell you something. If you put all that time into you that you put into the other stuff, some of you spend more time surfing the web than you do on yourself or your business. But if you put that time in yourself and yourself gets put into your business, oh my gosh, it's amazing what can happen. So, now that I've gotten through that, I would love to just share with you what I believe is the greatest possible outcome you can have for the remainder of this year. I missed one. The other elements that are you'll find that success is about reproduction and duplication. What's really sad is when you're reproducing something that isn't effective, and that's what a lot of you have been doing. Some of you, that's what you've been doing, and everything reproduces after its own kind. It's a biblical concept. You taught everybody that all they have to do is get in first, and you reproduced that. You've duplicated that. You've taught others that you'll pay their way, and that the company will pay your way, right? And that that you don't really have to pay anything, just come in, and boom, you've reproduced that, and you've duplicated it. You've taught people that there's no selling, no recruiting, nothing to do, just pay your money. You didn't tell them they didn't have to pay. You said all they have to do is pay, and you know what? Unfortunately, you reproduced that. The duplication and reproduction in success factors, such as doing the work, growing your mind from a mental standpoint, learning more about financial, learn about money. Don't be afraid of math. Learn about it. Spend some time reading. Find out about others who are successful. And you apply those principles. And you'll find you'll start duplicating that if you could stick around long enough to learn it. Don't start to learn and then to leave. Some of you learn one concept. Next thing you know, you're off making a video thinking that you're an expert. You didn't finish. Keep learning. Keep going. Keep doing. That's what you deserve in 2020 and 2021. So, I don't know, but I pray that you certainly can be a difference. I want to thank you for attending, but don't go anywhere yet. I'm going to chat with you. Before I chat with you, I'd like to share with you one of the reasons why I love the ideas of success. I love the idea of finding creative ways to help, and I want to make sure you don't miss your opportunity to do that. I want you to take a look in your inbox, or you know what I'll do? When we're done here, I'm going to put into the, what do you call this? I'm going to put in the description area I'll put in the description area some information that you can participate in. There's a fallen soldier who has had a great impact over the last 40 years, last 4 decades, in a community in Pennsylvania. And spending much of her life, a Mother Teresa type, who's given away most. And when it was time to pass away, not only is there nothing for her, there's some money that's been raised and being raised to help. She's gone to the hospital and ended up with COVID-19, and within 2.5, 3 days, passed away. I'd like to invite you if you want. I'm giving away next Friday, or this Friday, I guess, if you will, just in a few days. Friday night, I'm giving away a $500 shopping spree in the way that you'd want it, whether it's in crypto or if it's in fiat, right? You want a Zelle or a Visa gift card, I don't care. But I'm going to give that away, and I'm going to do a drawing. Anybody that makes a contribution of $25 towards this funeral or towards the estate of this loved one, this lovely person, your name's going to go into the pool. Some of you have already gotten my email about it, and you've already responded, and your name is already have your name in there. Some of you have donated a significant amount. And I want to tell you, $25, your name goes into the pool. And if you donate more than $25 towards this, towards the family who's left, your name will go into the pool for each increment of $25. I'm giving it away live on my personal YouTube channel on Friday night. And I will, like I said, I'll put that into the description. But they won't let me do that. I can't really edit the description until this live is over. So as soon as we're done, I'm going to put it there. But this woman, her name is Doris Roadcap. And I'll never forget going to the library as a child, as a special needs kid, and not knowing how to use the Dewey Decimal System and being taught how to use it there. She later became a pastor. This woman was so helpful when there were, many kids could go to after school programs. We couldn't go to those. My brothers and I, we were occasionally in social systems because of my some disruption we have in our own home. This woman was so kind and generous, would teach us for things or let us use the library, and then watch different educational movies while in there. And I've followed her over the years, and I thought it would be a tremendous thing to reach out. If I've touched your life in any way, I'd like to ask you to go ahead. If not, don't. Or if you don't have it and can't do it, but if you can contribute, it's going to be huge. It will be huge and go a long way towards a lot of the people and the children that she was taking care of, a lot of people. And I just thought it would be great for us to come together as a community. Now that I said that, thank you for attending. Let's take some time and talk together, and I will chat with you now. Okay? So let me take a look and see if I can find out what you're saying here. Okay.